Now that all of those other distractions and scattering thoughts are out of my head in a completely different video, I'm an overthinker, right? And then there's some times where I like have an opinion of something and I'm like, okay, is this opinion accurate? Or am I just getting emotional? Because I'm an emotional person and I do that. I like this person and I don't like that person, or I have this opinion and I don't like that opinion, or whatever. So I staunchly defend this one. But is that opinion that I'm staunchly defending accurate or not? So I like overthought this episode to the nth degree. I overthought these scenes to the nth degree and ended up writing a super detailed description of why I hate these scenes, why they make me so mad, why, because I'm pretty sure that these are scenes that people would use to prove that Mir is an evil alter. And I'm convinced they're completely invalid because of the reasons we'll go through. So they're invalid, period. Never mind using them as proving why Mir is an evil alter. So, first of all, calm observations before the storm. We'll get them out of the way before we actually go down into serious detail. Number one, I hope by now you know how I'm doing this. So I hope I don't have to go back over again about it. Go watch one of the other reaction videos. This is episode 18 already, people. Number one, after all that hard thinking, it's only after they are arrested and Mir's looking at the contract that he gets a look like that on his face. That can't possibly be where he realized it was all a trap. So did he realize who the real killer was here? Or what? What does this expression mean? What exactly did he just realize right there? After all that time, those, what was it? 1 day, 2 days, I forget how many days they said it was that he was sitting in his room not eating or sleeping. And he looked sick. And then he walked out and said he was fine. And I loved the way he said that. After all that, what on earth did he only just realize just here? Number two, the same tea Mir drank inside and was growing in the vase. The daisies Tan remembers in episode 21. Number three, oh, the way he brightened up when Jajan walked in. Don't you dare take away the adorable way he did that by claiming it was fake. Number four, okay, I can't excuse the fact he's literally saying he doesn't care if people die. I'm going off of this just because I like him and I want to defend him. No, if he's wrong, he's wrong. I'm not going to defend the fact that he's saying he literally doesn't care if people die. Even though he gave reasons why he doesn't think they're innocent. And he was right, but I don't think all of those deserve the death penalty. The vast majority of them don't. And we could also argue that he had a hand in how they could die, which actually gave them a chance of surviving. Even I was like, seriously, throwing them off a cliff into the sea, not beheading them or something? Like, they make it look like something is super deadly, and in general, in real life, it probably is. But in the show, somehow people always manage to survive. But whether they do or not, that's not the point right now. My point was, like, literally, they put them in a cage and threw them off a cliff. What are the chances, especially because this is a drama, what are the chances they don't die? So, he had a hand in how, so like it's not like an instantaneous death. Whether it's a slim chance or not, he had a hand in the fact there was a slim chance they could survive. You could argue that. So, who cares if they die? What's more important is catching the real killer, which isn't right. So like I said, fine, I won't push it and argue that he's not being pretty bad here. Number five, for the record, the translation said cunning and evil, but Tan didn't say evil. He only said cunning. Cunning does not instantly equal evil. What I specifically liked about this episode, number one, watching Mir's expressions. The process of him thinking so hard / figuring things out, which we haven't really gotten to see before. The other time he came out, he had already figured it out. It was just a matter of finding it. This time, we actually get to watch him figure things out, and I think that's cool. Two, the interaction between Tan and Mir before Tan woke up. The depth to that. And so many questions it brings up. Number three that I really liked about this episode, Tan's reaction as he listens to Jajan explain that she knows. What I had questions about, number one, again, what did Mir actually do to that kid? Slash, what was the kid doing to Jajan? We jump into the middle of a memory where Jajan is running away from this kid that is chasing her with the torch. Tan gets in the way. What the crap does Mirror do to him? And what the crap did he do to him that was so much worse than whatever the crap he was doing to Jajan? Yes, a big sneeze, dog. That memory is like, the more I see it, the more mind-blowingly confusing, and what the crap is it? Number 2 that I had questions about, everything about this memory is suddenly confusing me, both on what Tan knew and didn't know back then and now. Because Tan says he's known about Mir since he was young, i.e. knew about him during that event. So was the forgetting about saving Jajan a been a while thing then? It legit made it look like he didn't remember most of this event at all when it came up the first time. Mir said, it wasn't you that chased away the kid, it was me. Which from this full flashback should have been obvious to Tan. Considering he was facing the kid, then he was getting off the ground and instantly knew to look in the shed to find the kid. So what the heck? This flashback is confusing me so badly the more I think about it, and this is just from Tan and Mirror's side of it. Jajan's increasingly weird reaction to the whole event is even worse. See the rant after the questions, it's included in there. Question number 4, their mother's death. So there are things Mirror doesn't remember. Is that what they're saying? How did Tan remember? Can an alter carry a memory they repress? Or would there have to be a third alter who told Tan? Given Mirror's shocked expression, there are only 3 options here. Tan repressed a memory and is getting it back, which means Mirror never knew it. Tan is a genius detective that figured it all out while he was sitting there staring at the wall because Mirror clearly didn't tell him. Or there's a third alter that told Tan. Which one is the show implying, and which ones are actually possible in terms of how d.i.d. works? Question 5. And related to effects and remembering the kids and this whole questions of how, hold on! Why does the mother's voice echo? Only Mirror's has ever echoed until, wait, their mother's voice is echoing. What's that mean? Remember I said that neither of the kids' voices echoes? So you could probably say that that's just like a memory kind of a thing, and like they're just remembering it or whatever, and they're not alters or something. But then why does the mother's voice echo? Why does the kid's voice not echo? The mother's voice does echo. What does this mean? What does it mean? Observations about this episode that are completely explosive. The light keeps like dimming and going right behind me. I'm sorry. Because this is where I become furious at Jajan / the show itself. I thought it was just Jajan that I was mad at, but no, the more I looked at the scene, the more it's the show itself that I'm furious at. This one scene especially, but also the 2 following where Tan and Jajan talk, are the worst scenes in the whole drama, because as far as I'm concerned, they were handled so badly. It took me several times through it and a lot of thought to calm down and dissect why I believe that. Basically, the scene with Mir versus Jajan is one, if not the most important, in terms of condemning Mir as pretty much pure evil, and I firmly believe it cannot be used because it is at least 98% invalid in and of itself because, well, let's just break it down, shall we? Point 0. And I'm going to have to follow with my finger, and I think I'm going to have to move it over slightly on the screen so that A, the picture on the background will stop distracting me, and B, so I don't have to look over quite as far. 0. The whole way Jajan comes back into the story is weird upon weird. Remember how she walked out of the story? She literally vanished after throwing a hypocritical temper tantrum. Last thing we heard, nobody knew where she was or if she was okay. Literally, how old are you, Jajan? Temper tantrum? Hypocritical temper tantrum. It's fine, Dapan said. I've alerted her family and someone will tell me if / when she shows up. Okay, but did they? Where has she been? What has she been doing? And most important of all, even if Tan is sitting in a zoned out stupor, why did he not react at all to her walking in safe and sound after he was worried about her? Like, okay, probably it's because, like, all of this came up with his memories and stuff, and he got seriously buried down inside, so he's probably completely 100% unaware of anything that's going on, even though it's Jajan. So you could argue that. But even if he didn't, because he's disconnected state he's currently in, why did Mirror say absolutely nothing? Welcome back. That's it? Not where have you been? I was worried. What happened? Should we talk? Nothing? At all? So already right off the bat, before this scene that I'm like really irked about, which is why this is 0, not 1, before that scene even starts, the mood is thrown off into, huh? I'm the viewer and I'm going, huh? We're just supposed to forget that she vanished in a huff? An emotional breakdown, I guess, that after all these years we're still keeping secrets from each other. And walked away. That's the last time we saw her. She walked off in a huff, then she walks back on in, pouting and irritated that she can't take the worry that something weird is going to happen. Oh, boo-hoo, how could you do this to me? Then she comes walking back in. Oh, boo-hoo, I was trying to leave and I can't because I have this feeling that something's happening. What? What? Okay, moving on to point 1. Which brings in specifics. Her expression. Like, she's pouting. Seeing Tan acting so weird, she's pouting. Versus employing a dangling jaw or total confusion. Cocked head, a frown. Not a hurt expression, because what the bleep does she have to be hurt about? She knows nothing at this point. What is she hurt about? Even angry would make sense. No, she's pouting like this is a personal affront. You've changed. You're not the one I fell in love with. This is all just so weird and out of character for her. It's not her typical way of responding. It feels completely contrived purely for the scene, and that is a big, big issue on how invalid the scene is because of it. Like, it's a big issue. Taking characters out of character is an absolute no. If your story is driving your characters rather than your characters driving your story, you've got something wrong with your story. Your characters are supposed to be taking you. You're not supposed to go, I want to go there. Oh no, that's completely out of character. I guess I can't go there, but I want to go there, so I'm going to go there anyway. So I'm going to make characters act completely. No, don't do that. That is an absolute no. You never do that. Point number 2. The words they are saying. I can't tell from the original text what exactly he's describing back then. I don't think he's simply saying the one that saved you. I think, especially given her response, that he's referring to the way that he did it. So maybe her answer makes sense. But to me, the way she answered just makes me really mad. Why is she talking like she knows for a fact that 1, this is a different person, and 2, she knows this person and has had conversations with him in the past, and 3, like she saw something back then that we didn't see that she saw. Number 3, because what is going on with that memory? Seriously. The more I look at it, the more confused I am because of her perspective. What did she see? From what we're shown, Tan tells her to go get her dad. It looks like she listened and completely left. Did she sit around and watch the switch? Or what Mir did before going to the shed? Didn't show or tell us that she did. And the next time we see her returning, with a bunch of kids, not her dad, okay, why? That's random. And he is already breaking the lock to get the bully out of the shed. Was there a clipped out scene where she met him on the way to the shed? Did he say something? Why didn't they show us? All they show us is her finding him rescuing the bully. She doesn't ask 1, who hurt the kid, 2, why the kid is in the shed, or 3, why it's Tan breaking the lock to get him out, when a second ago he was the wall stopping this bully from hurting Jajan. She just goes along with the flow like this is all normal and not at all completely weird, like out of the blue, weird, like really, really freaking weird. Jajan, you are suddenly disturbing me. Number 4. So what is with her lines in response to him? Again, something is lost between the original text and the translations, and I don't know enough to figure out what it is. But she's basically saying she doesn't like the person that hurts people, but the one that saves people. And I'm telling you, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They literally simply had to have her word it that way to make Tan look up, and that's all. Think about it. Think about the situation. Think about what she knows. Think about what she doesn't know. Think about her wording. Why did she say it that way? I will swear up and down to the nth degree that the only reason she worded it that way is because the people in the show need Tan to come out of his stupor. They need Tan to come back into the story, so they need something to break him out of it. So she had to say those specific words, because those specific words are part of what's keeping him inside. Because he believes that she loves Mirror, not him, and she just said, no, it's Tan that I love, not Mirror. That is literally what she just said. No, it's not Mirror that I love, it's Tan. She doesn't even know Mirror exists. What is she saying? It implies that she has knowledge she doesn't have, i.e., 1, she doesn't know about the d.i.d, or hasn't confirmed it yet, as we'll see in a second, and 2, she doesn't know Mirror. This is literally the first time she has ever talked to him, or at the very least, the first time that she knows she has talked to him, and she doesn't even know yet that that's what's happening because she doesn't know for his entire life that he has d.i.d. She does not know about the d.i.d. She does not know Mirror. Even if, by chance, there was some point in the past that Mirror had directly talked to her, she wouldn't have known it. She doesn't know. She is supposed to think that this is Tan being weird. Yeah. I thought I heard something. I think that was the cat. I think I'm getting emotional enough. My cat's going, huh? Moving on to point 5. Okay, and then seriously, girl, you say that weird line to him, and then after this entire show, getting upset with him time and time again for not talking to you, how many times did Jajan physically grab Tan and try to make him stay because you guys needed to talk? As his expression falls, going back to the question of whether he really thought she loved him or if it was just part of a trap to dig out Tan, and how real his feelings were toward her. Look at the expression on his face there. You, Jajan, in response to this, you do what? Probe to find out what the bleep is happening? Gently, forcibly, either way. Do you or do you say anything to dig out the truth? No, you don't. Instead, you literally try to walk out on him. In a flouncing temper tantrum way again to boot. I know that people are headed for the cliff right now, but literally, Tan is acting weirder than Jajan has ever thought possible, to the point she is speechless in front of him when she has never been speechless in front of him before. I don't like it. You're not my Tan because you don't fit in the box that I understood you to fit in. I'm leaving. What? Seeing his expression, I really, really, really want to know how different the scene would have been if she had acted more like herself. If Jajan had stayed in character and stayed there and tried to talk with him instead of trying to push him away without trying to understand anything about anything, like absolutely out of character jerk. This was a golden opportunity for a seriously cool / informative / intriguing scene, and they destroyed it. Number 6. We'll discuss him holding a knife to her throat after we discuss why she held one to Tan's throat. Remember, I told you to remember that. Remember? I don't care if you claim it's a different because of intent. Whatever intent she had, that was more messed up of her to hold a knife to Tan's throat than it was for Mirror to hold one to hers. Especially since she was throwing a massive temper tantrum when she did it. Literally pulling it on him because he was trying to gently explain to her that while he's sorry for yelling, she was still wrong. And all she had to do was admit that she was wrong. But no, she had to stubbornly pull a knife on him to shut him up. Well, when Mira does it, it's because she's literally rejecting him and pretty much refusing to acknowledge the fact that he exists by talking with him to find out what's going on. So discuss Jajan. Let's discuss Jajan first before you go trying to say that this proves that Mira is evil. The fact that he pulled the knife out on her. Or even that he intended to use a knife to actually hurt her. Because to me, the fact that she did it first, all the way back there, is stronger proof to me that this is not pointing to Mira being evil. She did it first. He saw her do that. He was there, remember? That's the scene where the beads fell on Tan's head. Tan didn't take the medication. Mira was completely 100% fully aware. He saw her do that. He knows she did it. I told you this got me really worked up. So this is just a really quick goodbye from the future that I'm going to tack on to the end of this video. Because yeah, I just finished filming my reaction to episode 18. And it took another 21 minutes. Or 22 minutes. So that's way too long. I knew that it was going to be a long one to react to episode 18. But I did not realize that it would be that close to an hour. And I'm trying to keep these videos under 25 minutes. So in the middle of everything, that's the end of this video. So, stay tuned for part 2 of it, where I get just as quickly and just as heightened, extra over-emotional. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think so far, or just wait until part 2 and tell me what you think after that. Bye.